Hello guys, welcome along. Here we go then, let's make a start on this build. First thing I want to do is look at the instructions and all these amendment sheets they put in there. So let's go straight to section 1 here, and it's the first part, it's the front armour plate, and as we can see we've got an amendment sheet here. So we've got D7 going on to E7, E6 and D12. I think what they're showing you is this here. This is the assembly. That's how it should look. Okay, we'll see when we get to that if we actually need that or not. Then we go to section 14, and on here they're telling us. Oh, okay. So when we fit the chain and sprockets, don't glue them. I don't know why, but yeah, whatever. And also with 19, again, don't glue them, don't glue the wheels on. So obviously these tracks are going to be working. So that'll be pretty cool. Sorry, I'm off the bloody camera. So there we go. 19 and 19, yeah, 11 and make 11 makes 16. Yes, just don't glue them. And then we go to section 39 here, and it's telling us H9, H3 and H8. H3, H9, H8, yep. And then H3 going on the roof. Right, sorry, H13 going on the roof. Hey, H9, H3, H8, H13 going on the roof. I don't know whether the amendment sheet for that. If you guys can spot it, you tell me. I can't see it. So yeah, there we go. So that's the amendment sheets taken care of. So now we know not to glue parts and stuff, and we know how that front armour should look when it's assembled. So let's get stuck into the sprues and start cutting some parts off. So what I'm going to need here is C, E and D. So let's get the instructions out of the way. This is E. This is something I do like what Takom do. They make the sprues easily seeable, and if you get some trumpeter kits and stuff, you sort of really try to study to see the letter. So yeah, these bags sound to be sealable, they're not. They're just made of the same material. Let's cut that bag open. Like that. I tend to keep the bags and put the sprues back in when I sort of put the box away overnight, because otherwise they can all sort of catch in each other. So I'm looking for D22, which is, sorry, not E22, E21. E21, so that's there's 3 of those. And I want one, and I want one E25. So let's get my lovely little Tamiya sprue cutters. Got to cut that there. There we go, there's the first cut of the first part. Whoops, and it flew away. That's unusual for Tamiya sprue cutters. And then we want one E25. That one didn't fly away. And that's there. We want one E7, one E6. And you can see with these Tamiya sprue cutters you can get right in close and not worry about ripping sections of plastic away. So that's all the parts from the E sprue for step 1. So we'll stick that back in its bag. Good habit to get into, guys, this one. Now this is the C sprue. This is a doubled up one. Oops. So what do we want off of here? We want C6. So that's well, they're quite nice with slide moulded barrel ends. So I'll take this off the sprue here, and here, and here, and here. Oops. That's that one on the floor. I'll pick that up in a second. And then we want C5. And we can see this is one of those where the sprue attachment is on the back of the part. So because of this fine ribbing you've got around the edge, they've put the sprue attachment on the back, which is, I like it a lot when I do this, because it saves you having to trying to clean up the sprue off of those edges. So once I get this off, I'll show you what I mean. can see here on there you've got the pattern around the edge, but when you clean the sprue off it leaves that side unaffected, so that's a nice touch. Thank you, Takom. And then we want 2 C26s, so there's probably going to be 1 per sprue, and there's some nice detail. You got the sprig and everything, which is quite nice. That'll look great with some rust running down off it. I don't know if these things lasted long enough to rust. I guess we have to have a bit of artistic license in this. As I said in my review, I think there's a bit of artistic license in this anyway with the colour schemes. I can't see the Germans would have captured these and then spent all the time to paint them in all those armour colours. So I'll mess around with that on camera. And then I want D. This is the D sprue. I'll cut this one open. Wrinkly bag, sorry. Take that off of there. And there's D22 there. It doesn't look anything like that in the picture, does it? Take that off of there. And this is a good one to show you where these little Tamiya fine point cutters go. A lot of other snips won't go in. You see, they can get in there. Snip. Snip. Push that out. Snip. Falls out. See what I mean? It's, they're really good, these things. They're about 25, 30 quid, I think, but they're so worth it. They're so worth it. So those can go in there. I keep a little plastic box to the side like this one, little bits of sprue and everything. You don't end up with bits of sprue all over your bench. So there we go. Let's pick up that gun barrel that I dropped. So there we go. We've got all the parts there now. Oh, I need D12 as well. D12 is... D12, where are you? There you go. So let's get D12 off. And as again, you can see I'm going right up to the edge with these snippers. And there we go. So there's all the parts I need for this section. All those parts there. So I'll get all those cleaned up and then be back. As far as cleaning this one up, get inside here with the knife. This is inside the hatch. The hatches will be shut, so it doesn't need to be particularly tidy. But I'm not sure without looking if I leave these bits of sprue gate there, then I might end up having trouble fitting. So and I can get right in close with the Tamiya cutters, and you can see you can trim that off and it pretty much leaves it almost ready to put together. Quick few swipes with a sanding stick and then that's done. Give it one angle. Quick few swipes. Same over here, and there we have it. Now for bits like this, remember I said about making sure it's flat? Even though these sanding sticks are quite hard, they still have some give in them. So if you use the coarse side of the nail file, just get the angle right, you can feel it is right, and just gently rub like that, and you can guarantee that edge is flat. And then you can also do that and guarantee that that is flat and smooth, and it's not going to be, when you put it up against this, it'll be flat and you get a good joint. So with this one, in fact with this one the nibs are so small, I'll just show you this one again. Because it's flat, it's only taking off the nibs, it's not actually grinding or sanding any of the surrounding plastic. Whereas if you go in, what I'll have to do is get some scrap parts and I'll show you what you can actually do with a sponge. You can actually destroy the part. I find these things are better than any model supplied product for doing this particular role. Ordinary nail files, you buy the sponge files and that in Tesco's and everything, they're bloody rubbish for modelling. So you can see there, because you've done that, you can get a lovely joint with no, really bad marks in it. you want, this being a World War I, you want some misalignment, you want some gaps, because it definitely wouldn't have all been neat and tidy. So I don't think I'll be using any filler on this at all. There we go. So there we have that. So I'll get on and get the rest of these parts cleaned up and get it all put together, and I'll see you in a second when section 1's done. Okay, I just want to show you something quickly here. This ball goes into this front armour plate, yeah, and it has to be able to move. Now, it doesn't have to, but I am going to have it moving because I want to position the gun where I want it. So I've cleaned the sprue nibs off of that. I've cleaned the sprue nibs off of this part here, and you can see we've got 2 holes to the side and 2 pins on there. So what we need to do is put that on there, turn it until the holes align. There we go. And now you can see the ball is in there and it's free to move. Now, to make sure you don't get any glue on there, so it remains free to move, we take our extra thin, remove most of the glue off the end, and just dab it on like that. Yep, hold that in place, come around the other side, just a quick dab like that. The capillary action will pull the glue underneath that part, and the ball will still be free to move. Don't put too much glue on because it'll ooze out on the inside and stick the ball, but there you go. You can see that ball is still free to move, and that part is securely glued in place. Okay, righty guys, I've got the parts cleaned up, so now it's time for you to see how it all goes together. I'm going to start off with a tip, as usual. I've noticed a lot of people would actually get their extra thin, put it in and start dipping and doing this. I don't agree with that. The whole point of extra thin is it's really, really good with capillary action. So what I do in this sort of situation is put that in place, put my finger over the middle of it, making sure it's not touching the edges, and just put some glue in behind. That looks like I put a lot more on than I actually did, but I didn't. And then just put that second one in place like that. Then put some glue in behind. And obviously, like I say, be careful not to have your fingers over the edges. You can see there, just there, there's a little bit of glue starting to ooze through. If my finger had been there, the capillary action would have pulled the glue all up my finger. So you can just give that a quick rub once it starts to go, and that's gone. So there you are. There's those hatches in, like so. In fact, I think they're supposed to have a gap around them if the pivots line up. So there we go, there's the first cock up I've made. So I don't know, you can see on there, I don't know if you can see it, the glue is sort of filled up the seam. Just run over that with some more glue, it will take that away and you can brush it out. And then that join comes back, as you can see there. And there we go. That's repaired, that's plenty good enough. That's my stupid fault for pushing them down too far. So yeah, there's that. And now it's saying to put the gun in. Well, I need to add the ammo can to the top of the gun. In this situation I will put some glue on first. For some reason this brush doesn't hold very much glue. It's strange. Stick that on the top of there like that. As I say, I'm not really too bothered about this being the neatest because it's never going to be seen. It'll go inside here like that. And that's it. It's never going to be seen. So it's just the end of the barrel that's going to be seen. I've also noticed there's no positive location for it to stop. You just put it where you want, really. So I'll leave that off for now. So yeah, that's that done. Now I need to build up this box. I didn't cut off D7, did I? D7 is here. Now on this part, because it's got a chamfered edge, I'm going to stay away from it with the cutters and just like so, because when you have got a very thin edge, obviously that comes up at like a 45-degree angle, and there's a very thin edge on there, and you can actually pull it away, even with these brilliant snips, or cutters should I say. So that's that done. Take our Tesco sander, Tesco's nail file should I say. We can sand those nibs away without sanding any of the other plastic, like so. There we go, just like that. So now we're ready to put this together. Now what it's telling us is that D7 goes that way round. Yep. And E6, which is here, is going to go onto the side. It's a bit of yeah, so in this instance I'm just going to put a tiny drop of glue on it so that I can move it around, because I'm not sure where that goes in alignment that way, forwards and backwards. So I'll add on the other side now. And I'm holding this, but I'm keeping my finger away from the edge because I don't want the glue, oops, I don't want the glue to capillary under my finger. I think the easiest way to do this is going to put some glue on first, because at the end I just want to tack it in place for now. And then D12, oh I see, this is what the amendment's for, it's showing you which way up that goes. So that goes that way up, that's going to go on there like that, I'm guessing. If you can hear a chomp 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 in the background, it's my dog chewing a cow's ear. The ear has become detached from the cow, so that's a good thing for the cow. Unfortunately, the rest of the cow is no longer with us. So there we go. Now I need to check my references and see if this was a piece of angle or if it was actually 2 strips of steel. If it was 2 strips of steel, the gap needs to stay. If it's a piece of angle, then the gap needs to be filled. And that'll give me a good opportunity to show you how I use Mr. Surfacer around surface detail without destroying the detail. So there you have that assembled. So that's step 1 done. As I say, I'll check my references and see just exactly what I need to do on here. And then making sure my fingers are nowhere near any edges, just go around and finally glue all this up properly. I know what's wrong, I've got a tiny drop of glue in the bottom of the bottle, that's why they're not getting much on the brush. So you just top it up with about 6mm. And as you can see on here, if you look at the amendment, I've got this the right way up, and you can see that at the bottom, on the bottom it's supposed to be slightly higher. That centre piece is supposed to be slightly higher than the sides at the bottom, and at the back it should overhang slightly, which it does. So thanks for that amendment, Takom. Obviously in the end of the day I did need it. So there we go, that's step 1 done. Next step, hull assembly. It's going to start getting big now.